On the 13th of November, Sky Sports unveiled the Halo channel at the 2025 TikTok Awards, and it's safe to say that they completely missed the mark with this one. Now, I just wanted to start this video with a little preface that as I was researching this a couple days ago, I came across media releases from Sky Group and Sky Sports, and I copied down a few interesting lines, some things that I might want to include in this video. And then today, as I was finalizing my script, I found that these media releases were completely wiped off the internet. So, talk about erasing mistakes, huh? The company Sky was founded in 1989 in the UK, and for decades now they've dominated home entertainment. Sports, movies, drama, you name it, they've done it. And today they run one of the biggest sports media empires on the planet. With pundits like Jamie Carragher, Micah Richards, Roy Keane, Gary Neville, Jamie Redknapp, Sky Sports is the sports network of the UK. So, how does Halo fit into all of this? Well, it's simple. Sports broadcasters have realised something revolutionary. You can reach a bigger audience and therefore make more money by including women. Crazy concept, right? The English FA has reported that since 2020, the number of women and girls who are currently playing football has increased by an insane 56%. This increase in participation has also led to an increase in attendance of the Barclays Women's Super League matches, which are up by 239% since 2021. With the Lionesses winning back-to-back Euros in 2021 and 2025, and a massive shift towards popularity of women's sports, it's honestly expected that an outlet like Sky would try and win over a female fan base, especially if it meant to make more money. In Sky Sports media released, they claimed that Halo would offer a safe, positive space for women to connect, comment, and celebrate sport and culture together. And I have an issue with this statement for a number of reasons. By creating this safe space, which is just a TikTok account, Sky have just admitted that their main channels are not a safe space for women. The Sky Sports TikTok account has 4.5 million followers, and aside from barely posting about women's sports, despite it being a market they can easily tap into, when they've recently posted female athletes, it's really just podcast snippets. No highlights from any sporting events. And with the Lionesses winning the Euros a few months ago, they didn't care to delete the blatantly sexist comments. So it's interesting that they now want to create a safe space for women, when it's clear that their main channels do not preach the same values. They could start off by regulating comments, banning hateful accounts, and posting more women's sports. Like, seriously, are we actually separating our male audience from our female audience? Even if it was ethically viable, they'd be missing out on so much profit that they could get from exposing different groups to different leagues. Another thing I wanted to touch on is that Sky deliberately stated that Halo will act as a little sister account. And I feel like I don't even need to explain why that's a bad idea, but I will anyway. By claiming Halo as a little sister, we can deduct that the Sky Sports main channel is the older brother, presenting a power imbalance between the two spheres. Heather Jean MacArthur's Penn State University thesis touches on this and claims that through infantilization, connotations of immaturity and frivolity are produced. And with women consistently referred to as girls, confidence drops in a number of aspects, including feelings they have lower qualities in comparison to males. The infantilization of women isn't a new concept at all, and we know and we understand that is how men traditionally view women. Take Britney Spears, for example, a certified pop superstar who rose to fame with the banger Baby One More Time. She's a teenager dressed in a hypersexualized schoolgirl outfit. Her hair sits in 2 ponytail braids, expressing to audience that yes, she is supposedly owning her sexuality, but also she's still a child. So can you blame Sky for thinking of Halo as a little sister account, when it's clearly a successful model of empowering and harnessing male audiences? Well, yeah, I can, because Sky claimed that they were making a safe and positive space for women. One of the biggest draws of backlash to the Halo account is its oversimplified and stereotypical assumption of what female audiences want out of sports coverage. That is, its relatability to current trends, like matcha and hot girl walks. Or the consistent pink tech captions, because obviously women cannot comprehend something if it isn't in reference to popular culture, or if it's in a boy-colored text like blue or green. I can't imagine that enough people signed off on this idea and not a singular person thought, maybe let's not make an entire account condescending towards women. Or, I don't know, maybe they could have surveyed female audiences and asked them, hey, what's missing in the current media landscape? Although I imagine the response would be pretty simple. More media coverage. The content alone was quite shocking to me, because from videos I had seen, it was clear that it was mostly about male athletes, which, completely takes away from what Halo should have been. Yes, sports like Formula One rightfully have a growing female fan base, But is it necessary to reiterate the male aspect of it and pander towards popular culture? Because why am I seeing videos about whether Charles Leclerc's best man is going to be his dog or his co-worker? Huh? Could Halo not have interviewed one of the many women working behind the scenes of Formula One? Or brought to light F1 Academy? Because I can promise you F1 does not need any more media attention. It is a globally recognized sport. Bring to light the female aspect of it, F1 Academy. It would have been much more effective if they discussed how the rules of F1 Academy differ from F1, or how F1 Academy supposedly sets up female drivers for single-seaters. Just a thought. Now, yes, I admit I love the colour pink. I love going on hot girl walks listening to music that makes me feel good. But with Sky going this route, they're only further distancing their male and female audience from one another. Imagine if Sky posted the same Haaland video, but instead of talking about matcha and hot girl walks, they talked about how that Victory Royale and protein shake combo hits. Like it's an oversimplified and stereotypical view of what men should enjoy. And they wouldn't post rubbish like that on their main channels, so why do it on Halo? Now, despite it sound like I'm completely hating on Halo, I do think it could have been an important project and it could have improved the experience of millions of female sports fans. However, I do think this is a multifaceted idea and project itself. Yes, an account dedicated to women's sports sounds great in theory, but does it not inadvertently say that women's sports isn't good enough to be broadcasted on the main channels? This stops being a matter of coverage and visibility when it turns into a matter of segregation of the men's and women's spheres. I think it's important for Sky to understand why and how they offended so many people with this Halo project, and how moving forward they can still create safe spaces for women in sports, which starts with broadcasting female sports on main channels. Imagine how successful this project could have been if it started with integrating women's sports into their main male-dominated accounts. Not only would they not receive backlash, but the visibility would work vice versa. Women are exposed to men's sports and men are exposed to women's sports, at least attempting societal cohesion. Hannah Kennelly for the Sydney Morning Herald put it perfectly. Women don't need diluted or oversimplified sports coverage with pastel-soaked subtitles. We don't need demeaning or infantilizing content that assumes we don't know or understand sports terminology. We deserve nuanced, comprehensive, and in-depth sports stories. The same content male sports fans get. Now, I don't know if I'm still totally geo-blocked from viewing all the videos, but for me, there's only a faceless apology which claims that Sky didn't get it right and that they're terminating this account. Do I think this is the end of Halo? I'm really not sure, but I think the best way for them to make a return would be to consult the audience of female sports. They could bring to light content creators, journalists, athletes, people working behind the scenes, everyone who works to make sport a more inclusive place. Sky might have missed the mark with this one, but I hope that this experience helps them understand that they should be even more obliged to fighting for women in sport. This is the only part of the video that's unscripted, so I'm a little bit scared to go off on my own, but I want to say thank you so much for watching. If you stayed till the end, I really appreciate it. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, do whatever you want. I really don't mind. Let me know what your thoughts are on this topic. Make sure you go follow my TikTok account because I'm a little bit active there sometimes too. And yeah, thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.